One More Shot 2024, first film of this year for me to review. I saw it last night and it was an action film and it was full on. I think it was a single take where the camera follows from the start to the finish. It keeps with the centre of the main action all the way through. Different characters appear all of the time throughout the film, but the camera doesn't cut away. It's like one scene, the whole thing. I've seen a few of those over the years. The first film I think I've seen like that was Victoria 2015, set in Germany. That followed a young woman as she spent the night in Berlin and got mixed up with some interesting characters, let's put it that way. This film, I have some mixed feelings about it. I think some aspects of it were done very well. This single take, an impressive thing to get the actors delivering on a single shot. It's really amazing, I think. So that really impressed me. I like that. There's a lot of violence. I'm not that keen on violence. That's the nature of action films. It's a sort of high tension situation. It's set in Washington DC. Practically the whole thing is set around an airport, and there's some intel that there's a dirty bomb has been imported into the US, and it's in a container. They detain a suspect at the start, and then there's a whole pile of hand-to-hand combat. Lots of gunfire. I suppose it's a bit like a lot of Gerard Butler type films. Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, Angel Has Fallen, all those kind of films. It's a lot of action, people just fighting, and it happens time and time again throughout the film. So if you like that kind of thing, you may like this film. There's the main characters. Scott Adkins is Jake Harris, Michael J. White, Robert Jackson, Alexis Knapp, Jennifer Lomax, Tom Berenger, Mike Marshall, and Waleed El Ghadi, Amin Mansour, and Mina Ryan as Nisha Mansour, and Hannah Arterton is Hooper. Those are the main actors in the film. I thought they did a fair job, all of them, considering it being a single take. It is really confusing, just the nature of the storyline. There's an enemy, and you're right in the middle of this situation where sometimes you're actually following enemies around, with the baddies, following them around as they try and tackle the goodies. And then there's this uncertainty about whether the goodies are all goodies. There's a private military group, a private company who are mercenaries, similar to this situation in Russia. The Wenger Wagner group is like a US equivalent of that. There's this group called Farbridge. They've got nefarious aims involving this radioactive dirty bombs device that's been brought into Washington. That's a few hours before the president is going to deliver the State of the Union message. It's very topical right now. We're coming up to that time of year, 20th of January, I think it always is. The POTUS talks to the nation, and lots of politicians down in DC listen to this address. That means it's a logistical nightmare, an absolute security nightmare. I can't imagine how difficult that is. There's a real problem. There's going to be someone trying to set off a nuclear device during the presidential address. It's going to take out a large proportion of the city. So the film is set in Washington, Baltimore Airport, but in the end titles it said it was filmed in Stansted Airport, and Tilbury here in the UK in Essex is British film. I didn't realise that throughout the film. And some of the characters are British. The suspected terrorist detained by the people on the good side, but the baddies very much after him. It's full on. What's going to happen now? Lots of different things happen, one after the other, and it is fairly exhausting. I'm glad I watched it on streaming. It gave me the opportunity to pause, think, wow, that's happened now. I followed the storyline better than I would have in the cinema, and when there's major twists, that's useful to see, and you can go back slightly to see if there's any clues and skip back 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I found it tiring, difficult to watch, and it's at the end of a tiring tiring week, and I apologise for not making a video last week. Difficult family circumstances. Being as I saw it last night, I thought, yeah, fresh in my mind. I'll score it 7 out of 10. It was watchable. It was well done in many different ways. It's not really my kind of film though. Full on fighting throughout, battle after battle, people hitting other people, overcoming other people. I think anything over 5 is a worthwhile watch, but it's not easy to watch. It's sort of circumstances that are in some ways a bit too close to the real life events. I mean, there's been so much conflict going on in different places, Israel, Palestine, Gaza. I prefer to escape from those situations. That's why I find aggression and violence very difficult to watch sometimes. So it isn't this sort of escapism I want. However, I am trying to cover different genres. I don't think it was too bad for the action genre. Probably when it comes to action, if I weighted it, it would be higher than 8.5. But in my overall enjoyment of films, not quite my sort of thing. That's going to be it for probably a week or two before seeing anything else like that. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. Love to know different opinions. If you like this review, please like. Thanks for subscribing if you have. And I'll catch up with you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. To a colleague yesterday about films that involve lots of violence. She doesn't like it either. I'll say hello to her. She'll know. She watches my film reviews.